How's it going, everybody? So in this video, I figured I would discuss my recent herb routine, okay? So my herb and supplement routine as of, like, lately. So this year, man, I've been experimenting with so many different combinations and things. And my kind of approach to how I structure my daily herbs has changed quite a bit, at least right now. So before, I was kind of taking the exact same thing every single day and staying consistent with it. But as of recently, I have like a basic structure for my herbs and my herbal elixirs and things. But at the same time, so it's mostly consistent to an extent, but at the same time, I kind of change things depending on how I'm feeling for the day and what I'm trying to do. So, at a baseline, right now, I am taking my rhodiola extract, approximately 500 milligrams in the morning, along with cordyceps every single day. About a half a teaspoon of the Hyperion herbs, cordyceps extract. And then I'm really into Polyrhacus black ant. I believe Polyrhacus black ant has unique dopamine boosting qualities and has unique dopamine or L-dopa derivatives in it that you can't really find in other places. And I feel like it improves dopamine firing in a way that is sustainable over the long term, which is why it's been used as a tonic herb and rejuvenator for so long. It's not like a drug type effect, right? Speaking of that, actually, I've been experimenting with relatively high doses of mucuna as of late, mucuna extracts, because I found in the literature there to be virtually zero case reports of mucuna pruriens causing issues at higher doses, and a lot of the side effects associated with L-dopa is actually from the drug L-dopa used in Parkinson's patients and not from the mucuna pruriens extracts commercially available. And you could find reports of many different people using insane amounts of very potent mucuna pruriens extracts, where they're taking the equivalent of something like 2,000 milligrams of L-dopa a day, which is quite a lot. But I like mucuna and some of these other herbs, mucuna and black ant, for their potential benefits on lowering prolactin and therefore indirectly increasing testosterone and the functions of testosterone through various mechanisms. And something else that's actually relatively new that I've been experimenting with this year, I've been experimenting with just the raw, crude ginseng powders. Okay, so and astragalus as well. So previously, I used to take capsules of Panax ginseng, Siberian ginseng, also known as Eleuthero. People grill me in the comments telling me, oh yeah, it's not real ginseng. Like, yeah, no fucking shit. But people still understand what I'm talking about when I say Siberian ginseng. So, like, it's funny how noobs that just recently got into herbalism, like, they think they found some kind of profound information. Like, oh shit, I'm enlightened. Siberian ginseng is not actually ginseng, it's Eleuthero. So now anytime I hear someone who's been into herbalism for 10 times longer than me, when they refer to it as Siberian ginseng, I gotta correct them because I'm enlightened and they probably don't know. It's like, you're not a fucking genius, person. Like, you're not correcting me in the comments. It's just annoying. Like, Dunning-Kruger effect that just makes you sound stupid as fuck. Anyway, yeah, so previously I would, I have taken like Siberian ginseng and Panax ginseng and astragalus in lower amounts in capsules, but never really took a real crude type powder. I have made like teas out of like the chopped up roots. But anyway, so I have actually found a supplier of red Panax ginseng that is legit, and they're 6-year-old roots, which some people say is not old enough, but I would say it's old enough to feel the potency. And so yeah, red Panax ginseng powder, Eleuthero or Siberian ginseng, and astragalus. I've been taking pretty consistently at varying doses for a couple of months now, at least 2 months. It's probably been a little bit longer than that though. And I don't know, man. I feel like the Panax red ginseng. So a lot of people who actually are experienced in herbalism will caution against red ginseng, and there's a reason why. Obviously, in our modern times, these ginseng supplements are really hyped. So pretty much like anything that gets trendy, like intermittent fasting, keto, carnivore, people will overhype things and without the precautionary measures and kind of like the caveats and the side information that people need to know, and they'll just kind of overblow the positives of something without explaining how to use things and why to use things. People are just like, oh shit, it's fucking magic. It'll fucking cure all these diseases and make you a god. And it's funny because pretty much everything that becomes trendy, this is the main problem with that, is they don't get the whole picture of things, right? So ginseng, here's the issue with red Panax ginseng that I found. So the first day I took it, I took a whole teaspoon of the powder, which is generally a normal dose, but my body's never felt that before, right? I've never taken that much red ginseng before, especially such a potent, of such potency. And I remember going to school that day, like an hour or two, like an hour, maybe 2 hours after consumption. And I blend the ginsengs together in a blender in hot coffee. Hot coffee, generally I add some goyusa and yerba mate to the mix. And I think that's very important. If you just take the powder, I don't really think that that's the most potent way to take it. Traditionally, Panax ginseng, people just chew on the roots and get the stimulating effects. But I think if you're taking a powder especially, it's important to blend it in hot liquid. Boiling liquid's even better because that helps to release the saponins, and you'll see the foam rise to the top. When you see these roots high in saponins and you see the foam rise to the top from taking these things, that foam are the saponins, and those are the, traditionally considered active constituents of ginseng and of these plants. And so I find the medicinal compounds, the tonifying compounds, seem to definitely be more bioavailable and be released by blending them in hot liquid. And I mean blending, not stirring. That will really release the saponins, and you can tell because of the soapy, foamy-like stuff that comes to the top. Anyway, man, the first time I took that teaspoon of that ginseng on that day, I went to school and I could not focus for the life of me. Even though ginseng is claimed to be this potent focus boosting herb and shit like that, the problem is that it's stimulating so much when you're not used to it and your body doesn't build a tolerance. And I just couldn't focus. And I was like, man, I gotta get to the gym. I gotta go and like destroy things. Like fuck. And I was there and I was sweating too. I was just like, it was overstimulating in that time, right? And so I lowered the dose down to like a fourth of a teaspoon for a couple days and slowly worked my way up. And I remember before like a heavy squat, deadlift, Olympic lifting session, I did a whole teaspoon and I was fine. It just kind of boosted my energy and I was good. Anyway, so some of the side effects with that though is I sweat way too much during jiu-jitsu practice. So I've done experiments in the last like week where I took 2 teaspoons of this red Panax ginseng. And I remember I'd get into my jujitsu class, and mind you, it's been pretty hot here in San Antonio, Texas recently, and I think the air conditioning is broken in there. But usually I don't sweat that much. But I caught on the mats, and we were just drilling basic submissions, no live resistance or anything, just going through the movements. And I remember the break after the basic drilling warm up, my body just dumped all of its sweat. Just right there, I just literally sweat a whole puddle. And I'm looking over and I don't see anyone dripping sweat like me. And I've always kind of heated up really fast. My body's thermoregulatory systems are grade A. But this took it to a whole nother level. So, and it might also be the ashwagandha I take before bed. I'll kind of get to that a little bit later. But no. I notice a direct correlation between high dose ginseng and how much I sweat. And so here is kind of my takeaway from adding ginseng in my routine is that ginseng, one of the things they don't tell you is you need to take the type of ginseng that is most compatible with your current constitution. So like during the winter months, you want to take a more heating ginseng. Like there's a reason why they use hot, cold, yin, yang, different elements, jing, qi, and shen when we're talking about traditional herbalism. And the reason why is because like these herbs will do things that are in alignment with their, claimed energetics. And using, some of our modern scientific understanding of mechanistic underpinnings and whatnot is very beneficial, but I've definitely found it's so much easier and more effective to look at it through the scope of traditional Chinese medicine, and you'll be able to understand what to expect and why you're getting certain effects a lot easier. And then, of course, you can look at, the hormonal effects, what enzymes it works on, and dopamine and things. But yeah, man, like this Red Panax ginseng is definitely extremely heating, and it'll warm you up really fast, but not good if you're trying to stay hydrated and if you are already pretty heated. And I tend to be a really hot individual. Thank you very much. I can't help it. God made me this way. But anyway, so, and I found cooling ginsengs, like American ginseng, actually tends to be more kind of balancing for me. Remember, we should be seeking balance. We shouldn't really be seeking testosterone boosting, dopamine boosting, steroid-like effects from these herbs, okay? Because that can cause some side effects down the road. But anyway, so I find if I'm going to take Red Panax ginseng, to take a lower dose and keep that kind of sustained over time. And during the summer, I think it's better just to keep it out altogether. Now, Eleuthero, also known as Siberian ginseng, I find this to be a bit more, so I find it seems to stimulate my appetite, which is good, because a robust appetite means a robust kind of recovery and energetic process. People who have weak appetites, and I don't mean cravings, I mean genuine appetites. Typically, when you have a weak appetite, that means that there's something wrong with you. That means there's something wrong. Well, and there's kind of caveats to it. Hunger hormones are very nuanced and complex, but a lot of people, they're not eating enough protein and other nutrients to sustain their energy levels. And that seems to be a pretty common theme I see amongst a lot of my clients, or have over the last 10 years, is that people undereat protein, really. And the athletes that I train generally they undereat, they overtrain, so to speak, and they don't sleep enough. And overtraining is just too much intensity for the given stimulus. And so, I mean, you could do a whole day of training as long as you are kind of auto-regulating the intensity of whatever it is you're doing. But people want to go 100% all the time. It doesn't matter what, if you're on steroids or anything, that's counterproductive and doesn't really give you a better training effect than if you were to stay at RP 8 versus RP 10, no matter what you're doing, even running. So anyway, so Siberian ginseng seems to increase my appetite. It seems to have kind of like a regulating effect on my sleep. I think it does boost my sleep, and traditionally, Siberian ginseng has been quoted as has been claimed to be a good kind of tonic for helping to relieve insomnia. Um, so, um, yeah. So other things I've been taking, I've been experimenting again with rhodiola crenulata, but I don't know. I have been having kind of inconsistent effects with that. Gynostemma, I take kind of on and off. I have been taking kind of like a 12 to 1 extract by Paradise Herbs, and I find that to be kind of improve my productivity and make me more likely to actually do things I don't want to do, which is interesting. I've been experimenting with Makuna, approximately, I think, like 1 gram of a 40% L-Dopa Makuna extract by Nutricost. I've actually found recently that Nutricost does not sell this Makuna extract anymore because people were complaining down in the comments that the powder was white and therefore not legit. Little do these idiots fucking know, a white Makuna extract powder, it's white because it's an extract. It's a highly potent product, and it's actually legit. And if it's brown, that means it's probably not an extract. That means it's probably just the raw powder, which you don't want to consume the raw powder. But people are stupid, so the company changed back to the raw powder, and now you get like a cheaper, less potent product for the same fucking price. Like I do my best not to get in the trap of trying to educate and enlighten people that aren't on my YouTube channel, obviously. Just because I realize how stupid most people fucking are. They're going on there leaving 1-star reviews and complaining about getting a higher potency extract because they simply don't understand what it is that they're buying. They don't even understand what they're complaining about. If they did, they'd realize that they should be happy that they're getting such a great product. But no, they don't research it. They don't take the time to understand it. They just go and they fucking complain because I don't know, man. I recognize this is actually the number one problem in humanity these days, is ignorance and just like thinking you know shit when you really don't. Not taking the time to really, learn all the information about what it is, about the subject at hand. But there's nothing I can do about it. Just people are fucking stupid. Stupid as in like they don't desire to learn more. They jump the gun too quickly, knee-jerk emotional reactions. Anyway, clearly I have a lot of other shit on my mind right now, right? Anyway, so yeah, let's see. The same thing goes for Makuna Purins. All the people that are talking shit about Makuna, and like, bro, you're gonna die if you take Makuna. And like, I've made videos saying, hey, you shouldn't be seeking a Makuna extract to heal all your problems. You should be fixing the underlying kind of foundation of your health, your well-being, and your mindset. Because most people trying to fix dopamine, they have mindset problems. But Makuna is still a good kind of thing to take. But like most of the people who are fear-mongering on Makuna haven't even taken it before. And they're like, yeah, Makuna's going to fuck you up, bro, because of your dopamine. You're going to like desensitize your dopamine receptors, and it can kill you and have all these crazy effects. And I've never really shared that perspective on Makuna because it's not true. And a lot of these people haven't even ever taken or experimented with Makuna. They're just parroting shit they've heard. The same thing goes for things like Reishi. People just hear that it blocks DHT, and so then they have a nocebo effect where they take a tiny dose of like a fake product, and then they're like, "Fuck, my dick fell off." Like DHT, bro, it fucked up my testosterone. Just like I give up, bro. People are just too stupid. I just give up. I feel like I'm from another planet. And I'm like, all right, these people, they can't help it. They're a different species than me, right? It's like criticizing a human being who can't fly, right? You can't fly, you're useless, or I need to enlighten you and teach you how to fly. They can't fly, bro. They just don't have the wings. I'm just like, all right, y'all, don't fly. Keep being stupid. Keep suffering. And I can't help you. So I give up. Yeah, so where was I? God damn it. I'm probably going to forget a bunch of other herbs because I actually am kind of, I got somewhere to be here pretty soon, but they're texting me right now. Yeah, so other things, ashwagandha before bed. I've kind of changed my approach to ashwagandha. I'm taking ashwagandha about a half a teaspoon though, but I'm taking the powder. So the thing about ashwagandha that I've found is one of the main problems with it is that people are taking potent extracts that are way more kind of concentrated in withanolides and other active constituents that are generally not that high in the raw powder, and they're taking more than their body needs at the moment. And so what happens is people take like KSM 66 or the Shodan extract or Sensorol, these concentrated ashwagandha extracts, and then they have like thyroid problems or they have lethargy and stuff like that. And it's like, well, traditionally it was never meant to be taken like that. Now, of course, a lot of the scientific evidence showing benefits is on like the KSM 66 extract. However, if you're taking, these highly potent extracts that have only been around for like the last couple, 20 years or so, you're going to get the, 20 years type results versus like the thousands of years that the raw powdered root brewed into a tea has been used. So same thing goes for things like ginseng and all these other things. I'm not saying that the ashwagandha extracts are bad. I'm just saying, for me personally, I found benefits with those extracts, but you just got to be careful because they're more potent than necessary. And so for me, after all the weird videos I made where I'm like, yeah, it's good, it's great, it's the best thing ever. Oh shit, it fucked me up. It's not so good. Got to watch out, man. Ashwagandha might not be good for you. I've kind of lately, the last like maybe 2 weeks almost, maybe it's been less than that. I've just been taking a half a teaspoon before bed. And I started off with just a fourth of a teaspoon and it was working well. And I find that it definitely relaxes me and helps me sleep. Although lately my sleep hasn't been great, but I think it's due to kind of like getting the salt and sodium kind of intake on check. That's a really hard balance to kind of work with. So if I take too much salt, I think it ruins my sleep regardless of whatever compounds I take. Too little salt as well. But anyway, so I think ashwagandha is pretty helpful. I notice I'm a lot more balanced, like mentally. My mindset's more balanced. Obviously, I'm less stressed. It's easier for me to kind of get into a flow of things, and it'll help to offset whatever coffee and caffeine I might take the next day. Now, mind you, if my tonic herbs are on check and the quality of my coffee is right, or if I'm just drinking purely Guayusa tea, I don't really need to worry or green tea or even yerba mate. I don't need to worry about how high of an intake I have. But definitely, if you're the type of person that experiences jitters and shit with caffeine, ashwagandha and reishi as well can really help to offset that anxiety or that jitters. So yeah, I've been kind of experimenting with that, and I've been doing a lot better just with a low dose before bed. I've kind of been on and off. I've been testing out Romagna, which is a Chinese tonic herb that tonifies yin. And I have also been kind of brewing up kind of just like whole reishi mushrooms along with Romagna. I've been kind of simmering that in like a traditional concoction. Sometimes I'll add goji berries, but I find that those have too much of a diuretic effect for me for some reason. And I'll brew it for like 3 hours before bed. And I find that really helps me sleep. Just the Romagna, but especially with reishi. And then taking some holy basil, making the tea with it, is pretty good. Mixing with, especially if I mix with the ashwagandha. I think Romagna by itself is just a really awesome herb. And I find that it really seems to balance me out, not only before bed, but definitely for the next day. Especially if I take like a consistent kind of dosage of it. I find Romagna has some kind of magical property to it. So I might start taking that again pretty soon. So I have been experimenting with reishi extract again. And again, remember, this is why I experiment and I do so much kind of trial and error and stuff, is to really see what's actually going on with these things. And I find certain extracts of reishi, if I take them during the day especially, it helps to keep me in a flow state, helps to keep me like really focused on things that I want to be focused on. And it does seem to boost my meditative kind of God energy type of state, I would say. I actually think if I take reishi mushroom, the right extract, along with Polyrhacus ant, and like a low dose ginseng, I find this combination to be like, I would call it the God synergy stack, because I find I can get into a flow state really easy and kind of attract good things in my life pretty effortlessly, actually. So I really, really like that kind of combination. But I don't take reishi every day. It's something I've been experimenting with on and off. So let's also keep in mind that right now I'm kind of preparing for competition for my next gold medal at IBJJF. So I have been trying not to take too many things that calm me down too much and trying to maintain like a bit of a combative warrior type energy, if you want to call it that. But at the same time, I don't know, it's been hit or miss. I think diet and training is the number one most important thing for athletic performance. And I think some of these herbs, if you play with the dosage and the timing of taking them, can really have a significant effect on performance. I think rhodiola, Siberian ginseng, cordyceps, and then black ant, and mucuna as well, and to a certain degree ashwagandha. I think those are amazing for performance. And if you play with those things and you have your diet and training on track, I think magic things happen. But I think a really big problem is people train way too hard, so they can't keep up the right volume and frequency of training to get the right adaptations, and the recovery takes a hit. And then they have to make up with extra recovery days and can't stay consistent with their training. Their diet goes to shit. And it's like, it's all about balance and consistency, even when it comes to training. So let's keep that in mind. Megadosing tonic herbs can help, but it's a very tricky balance, and diet, training, and your rhythms need to be in alignment with the tonic herb routine. If you don't have that foundation, nothing you fucking do can save you. So anyway, I'm going to make a better video about this soon. This is just me kind of, I guess, getting this shit out, because I just have had all this shit in my head and I've been wanting to make a video for a long time, but structuring it and kind of, I don't know, processing it has been kind of hit or miss. And yeah, before you tell me to use a fucking outline in the comments, I'm sorry, but I'm just not right now. Even though it would be, you know, the smart thing to do, but maybe I will in the future. But go ahead and roast me in the comments. Maybe that'll motivate me to do such a thing. I think most people watch me for kind of like my meditative flow state of thinking out loud, rather than like, oh, this, you know, just like everyone else uses an outline. Like, really. All right. You come here for unique energy, goddammit. All right, have a good day, fuckers.